to another episode of #HarryandKelly. I am obviously not Kelly.
She is Victoria, but I'm Harry, and we have Lilly Melgar.
Melgar!
Lilly Melgar, an Emmy-nominated actress. You can find her on The Bay, and she's also a director.
Yeah.
Badass
She's directed
woman
for
over here.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's. I'm also a producer.
And producer.
I've won 2
a lot of
Emmys producing on the Bay. And I direct video content for major concert tours. So my directorial debut was the opening video for the Spice Girls reunion tour. And then maybe, well, I don't know, it's hard to say, but maybe the most notable may be the ones that I did for the Britney Spears concert, because they were like these mini shorts that they played throughout the concert. And it was very experimental because, you know, you don't go to a concert to watch something on a screen. You go to a concert to watch the artist. So you're really pumped. So we're like, is this gonna work? And it did. It was so exciting when the videos came on. People, you know, everyone stopped and watched, and we got a great review from the LA Times. And I recently did La Isla Bonita for the Rebel Heart tour for Madonna. And most recently, for my baby, for Ricky, his all-in Vegas residency, I actually got to direct him in the opening video and another video that he's in. And that was like full circle because, you know, we were the first daytime Latino leading couple in the history of soaps. And here we are 20-something years later,
That is amazing.
and I get to direct him. It was amazing.
See, I feel like you're being very humble right now because I have watched you over the years. I mean, you've been on so many shows. So I have to ask, what was your favorite show to work on? Besides, so you're on the Bay right now.
Yeah, that's an unfair question because you can get me into a lot of trouble. So I'm going to plead the fifth. How about that?
Your performance on The Bay, by the way, is amazing.
On fire.
Yeah, because there's a moment where you are having a meltdown.
Yes.
But it's lasting for like 10 minutes. How'd you get? I mean, there's all these forms of acting. You can use past experience. You can use Meisner, which is in the moment. What can you share? What you did to get there for that long? You know, it was a long period of time.
That got a little method, I have to say, because they kept me sleeping in the room where we shot that, so I couldn't snap out of it. I was like really going through the emotions of the character in that space.
They left you in the room?
Oh, they left me in the room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's where I slept. And I also had 2 rape victims on set with me that shared their experience. So I had the responsibility of going deeper and darker than I ever had, because I may not have gone through that, but we've all experienced pain. So if I could tap into my own pain and go as raw as I could, then I could do the storyline justice. So I had the responsibility to do that after these beautiful women shared their experiences with me. I mean, to the degree of they would show me where on the body it would hurt. So my walk, they would watch my walk and make sure that it was accurate. It was done with that kind of detail.
Sounds like a lot of sensory work as well. Right?
Yeah. It was everything. I
So
mean,
past experience. I mean, that's what I use when I'm acting. And the method I'm being taught is using past experience to get there.
so you kind of personalize.
Yes.
Yeah. That's I had to do that. I had to take on the body part pain where it would be and create some sort of memory for myself. So I did use imagination. And then I did use the personalizing with what is the darkest, most painful thing I've ever been through, and then daring to be emotionally naked in front of the camera.
Well, you were. The camera saw all of you.
Oh yeah, I know, that was
It
hard.
was.
It took me a while to see it.
Your brain was naked, but it was
Yeah.
great.
Such an amazing
It was, yeah.
Thank
a lot,
you so much. I appreciate that.
A lot of actors do that, but you really took it. Because I watch reels, and you know I'm an actor, and you took it to that next level,
Thank you guys. That means so much to me because
which earned you a nomination.
yes,
amazing,
That was my
which is-
first Emmy nom. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Receiving. What is it like receiving an Emmy nomination? What's that feeling like when you get that letter in the mail, or however
it
they
was
do
a
it?
phone call.
Oh,
Ah,
your
it was
agent called you, or?
You know what? one of my best friends called me.
Oh.
Her name is Martha Madison. Shout out, Martha.
How did she know?
We actually did a podcast show together called Soapbox with Lilly and Martha. So we've been in your shoes. And I was at my facialist. And my phone starts ringing, and it was her telling me that I got my nom, and I just like started crying, and then my facialist started crying. It was like the funniest scene, and through the tears of gratitude, I'm laughing, going, God, this would make the best scene. I'm always thinking, you know, always.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's the producer in you.
Yes,
Right?
always,
It's
always.
such an exciting feeling. It's such a rare.
Oh my
it's honorable.
God.
That's not why you become an actress or an actor.
No.
It's just an awesome perk that you got to achieve.
It's an awesome perk that I got to experience
Yeah.
because it's your peers, you know, they're acknowledging that they value your work.
Now
so,
you know you're good.
well, you know, the first time you're like, okay. But then when you get it the second and third time, you're like, they really like
Okay.
me.
Yeah, second and third.
My Sally Field moment.
And
they
you,
like me,
and
they
you've
like me,
won
they really
Emmys
like
for
me.
producing. That's
I've only won 2 Emmys for producing.
Only 2.
yeah.
Only 2.
I only produced
almost
2
won a
years.
Razzie. I was this close. My,
Good for
my
you.
performance wasn't bad enough.
A win is a win, right, guys?
It is, yeah. They're like your acting was almost believable.
Oh
you didn't
my
get it. I'm like,
God.
dang.
Speaking of why you do what you do and why you love doing what you do so much, what made you know? Obviously, you've been acting for a really long time, but what made you just know that that's what you wanted to do?
That's a really good question. I grew up watching movies with my dad. And at the time, I'm really going to age myself. Oh my God.
No!
I grew up watching, they had drive-in movies at the time. And my dad and, you know, Daddy and Me dates were drive-in movies. So I grew up on Clint Eastwood and Rocky films. And
Oh, wow.
I would be in that car, and it was my favorite thing to do in the world was to get lost in these movies. And then I remember watching The Champ with my dad at home, and I bawled my eyes out, and I went into the restroom and I locked the door and I looked in the mirror and I start recreating the scene, and I think that was the birth of the actress
How
in
old
me.
were you at the time?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Between 8 and 11, maybe.
wow, that's
I was
young.
really young.
Did you ever do any pageants growing up?
I did, and that got me my first acting gig.
Yes! Tell me about that.
So I won this pageant called Miss El Salvador in Los Angeles, and I was 15 years old. I
Wow.
turned 16 like 3 days later. And there was a UCLA film grad student in the audience, and he needed to shoot his film for his graduation, to graduate. And he saw me and he offered me the lead role. And it ended up winning the best film of that year at
out.
UCLA. So
There
I
you
got to
go.
go and see myself on the big screen at 16 years
Oh
old. and
my
I was
goodness.
like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
There you go.
That is so beautiful.
And-
that just gave me chills.
Oh,
That is amazing.
you gave her fever.
And it sounds like your family was really supportive if you would attend these movies with your dad. so-
Nobody in my family had done it. So nobody knew how to do it. So my uncle's like, hey, how serious is Lily about this acting thing? And my mom's like, I think she's pretty serious about it. She's like, well, I heard on the radio that they're having an open casting for a Spanish pilot. So I went in my Jeep CJ7 with my best friend. We stood in line for like an hour. I went in there. Ignorance is bliss. When you don't know you can be bad, you don't care. You're so much better than you ever could be. So I remember I sat on the desk and got in his face and did my scene, because she was like this flirty character.
Oh my goodness.
And then I was done. And I booked it. So that was my first audition
amazing.
ever.
And
Wow.
Yeah.
What you also have done, which is, I think, even more competitive than my opinion,
Yeah.
than becoming an actor, is directing.
Yeah. Well,
How'd you get into that? Because that is a whole other form of art.
That is.
It is. And again, I got very lucky. My male best friend, hey doggo, he has a company called Veneno. And Veneno is like one of the top companies that does video content for major concert tours. And we grew up together. We were roommates, and he moved up as a video director, and I moved up as an actress. I was on General Hospital, and he was working with a company called Tri-Crown Productions and Russell Simmons. And as we evolved, he got to a place where he had to run his company, he had to run so many things that he's like, I need somebody I trust to direct, and I know you can do it. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you know. I haven't gone to film school. I don't know what to do. You know, you can do it. I trust you. You and then he put me with the best of the best of the best, like best art director, best wardrobe, best cinematographer. So how could I lose? I was set up for success, and all I had to do was show up and do my part, and I did, and I've been doing it ever since.
Amazing. Like you said, you didn't go to school for filmmaking or anything, but all these years of you being on set, that was enough. Like you've been on.
Yes, that helps so much if you.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody's different, and it's not to say that actors that just act aren't getting the same value out of it. It's just that some of us maybe are a little bit more controlling than others, so we're always watching how things are done, and we want to get in there and do it our way. So I think that it's a particular personality type.
Yeah, it sounds like a relief, because I feel like half the time when I'm acting, I always want to redirect my scene partner in front of me, and you're not allowed to do that. I've gotten in trouble in acting class because I've given feedback, and then the teacher's like,
You can't.
you are not the director.
Yeah.
But the feedback was the same thing that the teacher said in class, but now I know to keep my mouth shut. But I feel like once you're directing, it's a relief almost. Now you're like, my way now.
Yes! Oh my God! I finally get to do it my way. You know, as an actor, you're like at the mercy of other people, and I don't like that.
I know.
At all.
You're in control finally.
Yes, yes.
The only people that
you get it. You completely get it.
The only, even if you're a director though, you know who has even more control? The agents.
Well, yeah.
They're necessary.
Well, that's why you produce.
That's why you produce.
That's why you produce.
Which you do.
Yeah.
And you just win Emmys for
Yeah. So you said
I won two.
So you said you produced some of The Bay.
2 years. I was
Wow.
one of the producers.
So
on The
did you
Bay.
help put it? Would have it come to life if you didn't help produce it? You think, or were you a huge
I think
factor?
that every producer has their contribution to it,
Absolutely.
and I definitely had my contribution
I mean,
to
yeah,
it.
you're in the 3rd season now, right?
Yeah, and
You shot in London for it? I mean,
I wasn't part of that.
okay.
But they did, and I can't wait to see the footage. I'm sure it's amazing. I stopped producing, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, because I wanted to. Now I want to produce my own stuff, and I'm
for
in
you.
pre-production
What
for
you're doing.
Good
few
for you.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're directing not just music, not just concerts.
Well,
and
right
stuff.
now I have 3 series in pre-production
Oh, wow.
that I'm
Busy.
acting and producing in, and I'm so excited. One of them, it's 2 years ago we did a teaser for a vampire. I had always wanted to play a vampire. Obsessed.
Oh my goodness, you should have been Vampirella.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but I would have loved to have been her. She sounds cool. Love it. It's like
Vampire.
Barbarella meets vampire. It sounds sexy.
I always thought vampires were so sexy.
so
You're
Tell me
sexy.
why.
female
it was-
Dracula.
So sexy. So I wasn't getting auditions for it. I'm like, screw that. I'm just gonna shoot it myself.
Make your own vampire.
I'm just gonna show the world I can be a hot ass vampire. So we shot it. We did this little teaser, not even a minute long. It's like, I don't know, 56 seconds, something like that. Put it up on YouTube. I forgot about it, never shared it. 155,000 views.
Oh my goodness.
That's not easy to achieve.
That is
It
absolutely
really is
With no
not.
promotion.
Zero. That's,
promotion.
That's
Any
how
tags
natural your
in the-
Yeah, I did tags,
your
but I
method
didn't.
acting as a vampire came in.
You
worked
know
then
what?
too.
I manifested that shit.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are
So
your...
now we're in pre-production, and now we're going to shoot a little web series based on this character that we shot in this teaser, and it's called Blood Roses. Check it out. Be on the lookout. We just started the page, Blood Roses series, on Instagram. We're creating the YouTube page, and our first episode will be released this year, October 31st, on Halloween.
Nice. Well, roses are red.
Yes.
The color of blood.
Blood.
Nice.
And it's a modern day vampire that gets away with feasting in the midst of public because nobody cares. It's such a self-obsessed society, detached of all emotion, void of all emotion, that vampires, LA has become the perfect feeding ground.
Wow.
It has, right? And
Right?
people make a joke that a lot of people in LA are sort of vampire-ish.
You know, what birthed the concept was that we shot this at LACMA, and people were all with their selfie sticks and taking their pictures, and I
Vampires.
literally bit the girl, had blood, had fangs, she fell, and she's, you know, with the bloody neck, and I walk away and blah, blah, blah. Drive off in a $150,000 car, thank you very much. Anyway,
Nice.
She manifested that too.
I did.
Yes.
It showed up, and I asked if we could use it, and they said yes. Production value,
Whoa,
hello.
was the car red?
No, it's a BMW i8 with the.
I love that car.
Oh my God,
I
it's
know,
my dream
I know,
car.
it's
It's my
amazing.
dream
It's my
car.
dream
What color
car
is it?
too.
It was blue, which
That's my
looked
favorite
great with
color.
my
Well,
red dress.
It'll look great with your Emmys.
Yeah.
You can get an Emmy holder in your Beamer.
Yes. Oh my God, I love you so much. So when we watched the footage, nobody noticed that this had just happened because they were all on their phones. And I'm like, there's our concept. That's our
Are you
storyline.
kidding me? That's how it came to you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Pay attention.
Oh,
Always pay attention.
Dracula has a lot of followers.
Ah. I'm gonna have to like get in on that. Hey Drac, what you doing?
Friend me.
Yeah.
Wow, you are such a hard worker, and you've been in the
Yeah,
industry for
she
so
is.
long. I mean, I would say it's well deserved.
Thank you.
You're not just lucky, although you do have a very promising career. What,
Thank you.
Have you ever have you ever struggled like as an actor?
Oh my
or
God,
just,
yes. Yes.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
to
Well,
yeah.
the struggle is what creates the producer.
Because you made
Yeah.
your own stuff. Because if you landed every audition, you
You
wouldn't.
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have
the
to.
urge to make your own
Produce
stuff.
or
And a lot of
direct.
people are doing that now. A lot
Yeah.
of people are.
Well, for me, I had honestly 10 years of a charmed life. Like, I heard you guys with the last person you were interviewing talking about these vision boards. Well, that was my life. I thought it and it would manifest like this for 10 years. I'm not kidding. Charmed
did
life.
you know at the time like what manifesting was? Or?
I didn't know any better because I was living it until the next 10 years were the 10 years
It
of
was
struggle.
Everything just came.
It was so hard. It was always between me and somebody else, and that somebody else would always get it. And one too many of those, your heart breaks. So I focused on the directing, and when I produced a film, and I really left the industry. And then it wasn't until, I don't know, 5 years later that I was like, I want to act. I miss it. But by this time, casting directors had changed, and so I wasn't the one of the 5 Latinas that would go straight to producers, which I was. So I was in a very good place when I left, and I didn't know how bad of a move that was.
Oh, yeah.
So I literally had to start from scratch. But then Gregory J. Martin was a fan of Lilly on General Hospital, and he found me on Facebook.
Aren't we all?
Aw.
It's so funny. So we were talking about this earlier, and you mentioned you're Latina, and you're so beautiful, and you have such
Thank
a
you.
unique look.
Thank
I
you.
remember when my family, we all watched General Hospital. I've been watching General Hospital since I was like 5 or 6 years old.
I bet.
And I remember you have such a unique beauty. And my family, when they
thank
saw
you.
you on the show, they were like, oh my God, like, this man is like confused about these 2 women. Like, this is like the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen.
Oh my God, I love you guys so
And-
much. Thank you.
Now there's more diverse actors, obviously. But
Yeah.
back then, I mean.
No, we were the first, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you are the first. You are.
I don't know.
But I'm.
Wow, milestone. Wow,
Yeah.
you've reached also, you've crossed boundaries as well. And also being a female director is rare. There aren't a lot of female directors. So the fact that you're doing that, I'm sure you've had to overcome a lot of
Just men, or like a lot of men, kind of.
yeah, they'd
You know,
adversity. You know, you'd overcome a lot of adversity.
because of the way it happened for me, I don't have as many of the challenging stories as other female directors would have. However, it is such a trip when you're a female director, ex-soap star, and your editor is a USC film grad student.
Yeah.
That can make a girl a little insecure. So you kind of have to prove yourself, and you do. And this particular editor that I'm talking about, a year later was on stage at the Oscars winning an Oscar. And he was my editor for my directorial debut video for the Spice Girls reunion tour. So it's crazy.
Wow.
You never know who's going to do what in this industry. You better be kind and professional at all times to everyone. We worked beautifully together, but I was intimidated that he was a USC film grad student, and why should he take me seriously? You know, I've had those insecurities. I'm way past them, but it was my first directing gig, and you know, we have to deal with those voices in our head all the time of telling us, you know, who do you think you are that you think you could do this, and then
and then you prove them wrong, and you walk away with Emmys.
And you have such positive energy because you do that dream vision, and you think a lot of the stuff. The reason maybe why you've nailed so many auditions is because you were so confident and you believed in yourself so much. And a lot of actors who maybe are as talented as you didn't get the role because they don't believe in them the way you believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I went through those 10 years where I was the one that wasn't getting them. So, you know, I was just...
It varies, right?
It varies. And I think as a human being, it varies. We have seasons where we're more confident than others. And it's beautiful because those are the moments that force you to go within and clean house and create some new belief systems that work for you instead of against you. But I'm just being really honest with you guys that when I first started directing as a female and being an ex-soap star and not going to film school, it was challenging for me. And that was during the period where I wasn't booking. So I wasn't at my most confident, but once you do it, you gotta like jump off that cliff, you know, and let those wings just kind of take over. You know?
Now you're booking. Well, now you're on a series.
She's always been on series.
Oh, nonstop. You're
She's
a serial
manifesting
actress.
machine.
That's funny. I'm a serial actress. I like that one. I might steal that one.
You can plagiarize off me. I give you permission.
Okay.
Sign here.
Have any like tips for someone who is new at manifesting or doesn't usually
yeah, that's a good one.
know how to use that tool that doesn't have the mindset? Or
you know what? At the end of the day, the key to it all is, do you believe it or do you not? That's the magic.
Yeah, believing in yourself.
That's what our last guest said. Isn't that so?
It's true. It's the belief. What I find that helps me to believe, I get lost in my vision board. And the more that I cut and the more that I create, because I am so creative, the more I start believing it and feeling it. So if your body believes this is happening, has those giddy feelings of excitement, gratitude, that's how you manifest, because the spirit believes it's already happened. So if you can get yourself into a state as if feeling and believing it's already happened, I believe that's the magic.
Can you manifest one thing for me?
What do you
So
want?
there was so much chemistry on General Hospital between you and Steve Burton, right? And now he's back on GH.
Yes.
So
maybe I'll bring him on my vampire show and bite him.
ooh, I would love to see that.
I'll be a victim
fun.
on your show.
Yeah, okay. I'll take you up
I don't
on
mind.
that.
I don't mind. My neck has great blood in it. That's the rumor. Doctor's like, wow, look at that blood flow in those
Oh my
veins.
God, it's so on.
Except I survived because I want to be on more than one episode. It's like a bite, but I'm like,
Somehow there's still a pulse.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you can come back. You don't have to die. It should be
Maybe
written
I
off.
could turn you.
Oh.
Be a vampire.
I wake up in
don't
Cedar Sinai, vampire.
know. Man, now he's really raising my budget.
I got health insurance.
How many times in your career did you die?
How many what?
How many times in your career did you like die?
Oh my God, I've died so many times. Okay, first death. I was knifed to death.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Funny enough, look how, like, you gotta love life. How when you start connecting all the pieces. My first film I was a lead in was called Midnight Warrior. And I was a lead with a guy called Kevin Bernhardt, who was on General Hospital. Who knew that?
Small
oh my
world.
God, 5-6 years later, I'd be on General Hospital.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
small world.
And you're still working with people from General
Yes, I know.
Whoa.
I know. So I was knifed to death.
Oh.
Second death would be General Hospital being blown up in a car.
Oh, okay.
Then I died in an earthquake in another film.
They're being a little more kind to you.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Then I died from AIDS in another film.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I was a drug addict and got AIDS and died. Then
Wait, so where are we at now? 4 or 5?
Yeah, it's a lot of.
yeah, and then I have a few more. I died. Oh, I was shot to death on Soldier of Fortune. It was a Jerry Bruckheimer series on Fox.
You should just make a reel of you dying.
Well,
Yes, I know, but I don't know where that footage is.
I'm
And
sure-
I did my own stunts, and I wish I had it.
Our executive producer, Andy, will find it. Right now.
And then we don't know if I'm alive on the bay.
Uh-oh.
My character, OD.
You did see that clip of her.
Yeah, well, I'm sure your character will go to heaven even if she is dead.
Honestly,
all your
she doesn't have to
characters.
go to heaven. She could come back. That's what
That's
she does. She
true.
always comes back.
Yeah, she produces
dies and
it.
she comes
She's like
back.
produced it. She's like, my character could reincarnate. I'm the producer. What? What?
Or sometimes she comes back as different characters.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what she did on General Hospital.
Yeah, you can play multiple different roles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I haven't done on soaps is played multiple roles, so that would be
yeah.
fun.
Well, I haven't even
Oh
been
no,
on the
but I
soap.
did.
You did.
I did.
I'm like, you did.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, oh wait, but I did.
I just need to land multiple roles.
Well, she's gonna teach you how to manifest. So
She will.
you have to believe.
So wait, did I die in anything else?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I just died on Ladies of the Lake
Well,
too.
this isn't
but I
over
don't know
yet.
how
You
I
might die.
died.
Oh.
I've got I'm a cat with 9 lives, and I think I'm at my 9th.
You'll live on this show.
Yay!
You don't know about the vampire show. She might die on the vampire show.
Oh, well, they're
no.
already dead. They're undead.
I'm already dead.
Oh,
that's
she
true.
died in the
no,
beginning.
my 9 lives are gone. Oh no.
She died in the beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm already undead, yes.
Yes, so that means multiple episodes for
Yeah.
that. And
Well, if I could look like you and I'm dead, I think I'll
Oh.
take that.
unfortunately,
You make a hot vampire. I might have to have you come on.
Oh, yeah.
I think vampires are so sexy.
Oh, I do too.
Every Halloween, if you don't know what to be, just get some contacts and.
Yeah.
know
That's
what
why I
to
don't
be.
mind if I'm bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right.
fun.
I'll live.
I always grew up loving vampires, so like I
Yeah.
said, if the agent isn't working for you and
You gotta
you're
make
not,
your own stuff.
create your own
Making
stuff.
your own stuff. That's the way to do it. Good for you.
Yeah.
You inspire me as an artist, and
Good.
Victoria as an artist. We're both artists.
Good, and let
You've
me tell
inspired
you,
me
about
since age
us.
6. How's that?
Yeah, you're,
I was also directing my co-stars in my head. So,
Yeah, how many times do you want to say,
oh my God.
are you really getting that mad?
No, it doesn't go like that. No, just.
Do you ever think that when you're acting, when you go, do you even get that mad in real life over something this small?
Well, what I do now as an actress is I use it.
To help your performance.
if you're
If someone
being-
sucks, then you can just use it on set.
I just react to what you're giving me. Like, you will see it in my face, like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay, yeah. So you gotta like be passive aggressive in your performance.
Well, I don't know about passive aggressive. You got to be authentic. It's called authenticity.
Yeah. You can't be like, I can't work with this.
No. I got to work with this. So,
Yeah, you
like,
have no choice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's why you direct also.
Yeah.
Yes, and I got these really cool series that we're doing. Another one's called Dangerous Curves. It's a comedy with Eddie Gannam from Devious Maids and
Wow.
Nina Oliveira. That's she does a lot of stuff in Brazil. She's Brazilian, and this one is like the modern day Latina having to
Nice.
struggle with cultural baggage and men and biological clocks, and it's got that kind of Sex in the City kind of vibe, and
Love
it's
it.
really fun.
And it's being shot here.
Oh,
really fun.
wow.
Really
Well,
fun.
this
This
is-
is another one been in the development for 2 years as well, and then a brand new one that we're just getting into called The
Did
Knives.
you said you work with your significant other?
No,
Oh, okay. I thought you said that.
I'm married and I forgot to put my ring on today.
Oh, man. I was-
Oh, it's all right. Tell me my
like,
costume.
oops.
You're wearing a different costume today.
I was running out of the house. I've been sick and I'm still like
She
swollen
did.
from my sinuses. Can't even talk. And so I'm like, just running slower than usual. And I'm shooting a short on Monday which is really
Nice.
fucking
You can
funny.
use
Can
your
I curse?
Of course.
It's so fucking funny, you guys. It's about a depressed, heartbroken woman who finds the O in love.
Oh.
Take it where you want to take it. It's so funny.
Oh.
It's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're shooting that on Monday. So I'm in pre-production and all of that, and just really moving slowly. So,
This doesn't sound slow. It sounds like very,
Yeah.
like, do you sleep?
You know what? I have a hard time sleeping because
You're so motivated.
because I get ideas in the middle of the night. Like, could you
Oh.
guys come
were
in the
you
middle
always
of
like
the day?
that?
Always.
So you don't sleep like a.
When I'm in editing
Yeah.
world, and what I mean by that is I don't personally edit, but when I'm directing the video content for these concert tours or the All in Vegas residency, I'm working with my editors all day long on our videos. And I kid you not, I'll go home so exhausted after 12 to 16-hour days, and I will wake up in the middle of the night knowing an edit that I didn't make that I need to make. And I'll wake up and I'll go, oh, that's where I need to cut. Okay, got it.
And you'll remember.
You remember you
I'll
wake up and
remember.
you have like a nightmare about your shot continuity. You're like,
You know what? I'm not a
the
continuity
narrative
freak.
structure was off.
No, that's not my thing. That's not my thing. My thing is I'm since we can curse, my nickname is the frame fucker. If every frame has to be perfect.
Oh.
I'm the girl that's in an editing room and we're using, I don't know, half a second of a shot of the audience in a concert, and I will find the one person in the concert that looks bored and say, we can't use this. They'll go, why?
They need people like you, though.
They
So
do.
I say pause, and I point out the one person that's like,
Ah!
and they're like, how'd you see that? I'm like, but I'm not the continuity freak. Like I need
That doesn't bother you as much.
the millennials are the continuity freaks.
Oh, yeah, they
They
are.
are. So I love to be surrounded by them because they make me better. But no, I'm the frame fucker. Like the frame has to be gorgeous. If it's a sigh, if it's a macro close-up of a finger touching
One person
a
like digging
button,
their nose in the corner.
it has to be energy in that close-up of that finger, and I will know if
Well,
there
look-
was energy or not.
Look how good you look in this frame.
No, I don't know about that. I'm like so.
So wonderfully shot. It was such a pleasure having you on.
Thank you guys.
Where can
The
people find you?
best.
I'm at Lilly Melgar Official on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, Lilly Melgar. I'm at Lilly Melgar on Twitter. I mainly use my Instagram, and we just started the YouTube page. I do have a Lilly Melgar page, but I never really use it. But you guys can see
You
some
can
videos.
still like her.
You can like me. You can subscribe and see some videos, and
Oh, there you go.
check out the teaser. It's called Scarlet, and that's for Blood Roses that we'll be shooting my vampire series. But please subscribe to Blood Roses YouTube channel and watch out October 31st for our first episode.
Amazing. Check out Lilly Melgar.
Melgar!
Melgar. Sorry, I'm the worst. I'm the worst at pronouncing. So
You know how
sorry
many
about
people
that.
like to do that?
Yeah,
I was just in the
Melgar, Melgar. Yeah.
4th of July parade at Huntington Beach, which I didn't know this, but
Yeah.
it's like 114 years old and biggest parade
Oh,
in
wow.
Southern California. I had no idea. And one of the guys introducing me, Lilly Melgar. I'm like,
Melgar, sorry.
Melgar.
Lilly Melgar.
Like there's an A.
Check out Lilly Melgar on every single TV network.
Love it.
bye, thank you guys.
Bye.